'cause you deserve the glory, and you deserve the praise, and you deserve the honor. Oh, you're worthy of it all. Ooh, I love you, Lord. When I think of what you've done and how you gave your only son, I can't claim your majesty. I can't explain your mysteries. You deserve the glory. You deserve the glory. All my praise. You deserve the honor. Whoa, you're worthy of it all. You are worthy, so worthy. You're worthy. Lord, you deserve it all. My high praise, I'll raise always. You'll never change. Lord, you deserve it all. You're worthy, so worthy. Lord, you deserve it all. The highest praise. Your love never changes. Yeah. You deserve it all. When I think of what you've done and how you gave your only son, I can't claim your majesty. I can't explain your mysteries. You deserve it all.
What if I could tell you when a tornado was going to strike? Of course, I can't. But shouldn't you be ready anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by
Hawks Janitorial Contractors Corp. was established in 1987 by husband and wife team William and Elaine Hawks. Our motto is a great job at a fair price. The Hawks team is skillful, customer-focused, delivering quality janitorial services that meet and exceed our clients' specific needs. Hawks Janitorial Contractors Corp., proud sponsors of Gospel 88.7 FM. For more information, 609-484-0452.
You are listening to Christ-centered, community-focused, listener-supported gospel. 88.7 and 100.3 FM, Atlantic City, WEHA. Don't forget to follow us on social media by searching We Have Gospel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Find out more at www.wehavegospel.com.
I want you to hear my heart. Ooh. Trying to just get it right. Even though it gets hard sometimes. I wish I could make a wish and everything be alright. Oh, I'm willing to trade all I have to keep you as the head of my life. I need you, please, I'm trying, I can't. So that's why I'm calling you. I need you. I do. But yeah, understand it, but I'm gonna do it. Say this. Say prayed for it.
Pray for who shouts for joy.
Say make melodies in your heart unto.
Our God is wise and our God is great.
Come on, sing it out.
Consistent love that will never change.
Make some noise. Come on, come on. Clap your hands. Do it again. Say pray for it.
Pray for who shouts for joy.
Sing melodies in your heart unto.
Our God is wise and our God is great.
Come on, sing it, consistent love.
Consistent love that will never
That's
change.
right, yes. Dance with all of your might.
Dance with all of your might. Stand strong in the faith. In the end, it will be alright.
Every strong, it won't stand. Every trial has to end. Listen, I'll never give up. I'm never gonna quit. God's given me victory. Come on, I know this. Never gonna throw in the towel. You're gonna make a way somehow. 'Cause God, you promised me. I'm never gonna run, but I'm gonna stay and wait on you. Here we go. Come on, put your hands together. Say, with all my might. Come on, put your hands together. Say, whoa. Come on, how do you all give God praise with all of your might? Say it again. Come on, someone say it again here. With all of my might. Come on, I'm gonna praise God right here, right there. Come on. Come on, say it again. Hey. Whoa. Come on, I'm gonna give God glory with all of my might. And on the holidays, do like this. Come on, put your hands together, guys. Say it again. How we gonna give God praise with all of your might? Come on, just say that. Come on, I'm gonna give God the glory and say it. Take it back down. Come on, I'm gonna give God the praise with everything that's within me. I'm gonna do like David did, and I'm gonna dance with all the Lord. Come on, say it again to him. With all. Here we go. With all. Come on, clap your hands. With all. Come on, gonna clap the hands and give God the glory. With all. Come on, put your hands together. With all of my might. Come on, give God the glory. With all of us. It's been a truth. Give him the praise. With all. Come on, I'm gonna give the full strength of what I have. With all. Come on, say it again. Is it? With all of my might. Come on. Hey! Come on, put your hands together. If you learn how to give God praise with everything that's within you, everything that you can muster up, I want you to put your hands together like this. Come on. Now come on, don't play with it, don't play with it. Here we go. With all of my might. Come on, say it again. With all of my. Come on, let me hear y'all sing it here. Come on. With all of my might. Tell somebody I'll do it. I'll give it with all. Come on, put your hands together. With all of my might. Come on, give it to him today. Say, with all of my might. Come on, give God the praise. With all of my might. Last time.
Hawks, a name that has been trusted for almost 30 years in the janitorial services industry, is proud to present Hawks Professional Moving Services. Fully insured, local and long distance, packing services, commercial and residential, no job too small or too large, friendly and reliable services. For more information or a free estimate, 609-484-0452. Hawks Professional Moving Services, where we treat your belongings like our own.
The second best thing about driving home is listening to WEHA. The best thing is getting there. And that's why I'm glad when I finally get home, I can listen to WEHA on my computer. It's easy. All you have to do is go to WeHaveGospel.com. Not only can I hear the station, I can also see what's playing at the time as well as what has already played before. You know, sometimes I'll hear a song on the radio and I want to know the name of the song and where I can get it from, you know. And when I need to go to another website, I can always use the pop-out player to keep WEHA playing in the background while I browse the web. They make it so easy for me at WeHaveGospel.com. You got to check it out.
Out of the dust, we're now rising up, and we say, our unending source, you provided before. Yeah, say it again, say, mighty Lord, say, mighty Lord, mighty Lord, rise up and hear the voice of people show yourself strong. We sing hallelujah. Lord of the harvest, show us your goodness, say. Restore the years that we've sown in tears, yeah. Oh, say it again, say, calling your own. Mighty Lord, say, rise up and hear the voice of the people, show yourself strong. We say, able, Lord, you're able, Lord, rise up. Say, show yourself strong. We say, hallelujah. Faithful. Say, faithful, Lord, rise up. People show yourself strong. Mighty, mighty Lord, mighty Lord, rise up. Hear the voice of people. Say, really. Say, mighty, 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 rise up and hear the voice of your people. Mighty, 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 able, more than able, more than able, more than able, more than able, rise up and hear the voice of song and we sing hallelujah.
I cried before I spoke, stumbled before I walked, colored outside the lines. I made so many mistakes. Assurance came to me in the words of this song. I cast all my mistakes. No more will I relive the past. Yeah. I can, you can, yes. I can, you can, yes. I can, you can do all things. Yes, you can. No more wasting time. Way too busy for foolishness. Greater is He that's within me than he that's in the world. Oh, yeah. I can, you can, yeah. I can, you can. Oh, I can, you can. I can do all things. I can, you can, we can do all. I can, yeah. He said it in his word, yes. I can do all things. Oh, yeah. If I trust in him, if I never doubt, I can do all things. All things. The Christ that strengthened me, he's my provider. He's my way maker. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can reach my goal with God on my side. There is nothing too hard for God to do. I can make it through this I will survive. That's what it said.
Praise the Lord, everybody. This is Deacon William Hawks, also known as El Presidente, here at Gospel 88.7 FM and 100.3 FM Atlantic City, where we have gospel. And yes, we're still spreading the gospel one song at a time. We want to thank God for all of our listeners who continue to pray for us and support us. Oftentimes, I'm walking down the street and someone asks, Deacon Hawks, El Presidente, I want to help. I want to get involved. I want to do my part. And they say, how can I do that? And I say, you know something? You can log onto our website and participate participate in our 8 for 88.7. That's right, 8 for 88.7. That's where we ask you to get involved, and you can support us by just donating $8 a month. How do you do that? You just go to our website, www.wehavegospel.com, press the donate button, and just simply support us with $8 a month. It's that simple. Once again, just go to www.wehavegospel.com, click the donate button, and follow the instruction. There you go. It's as simple as that. And once again, we thank you from all of us here at Gospel 88.7 FM and 100.3 FM, where we have gospel and where we're spreading the gospel one song at a time. God bless you.
A chain breaker, a hero to all those in need, a healer, provider. I can count on you to be there for me. Master, creator, you're the potter and I am the clay. The answer to every question, a compass when I lose my way. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Can't count the things you've done for me. So much to say, don't know where to begin. So let's just say he did it again. God pulled me through, came to my rescue. I couldn't do it, but he brought me through it. God did it again. Yeah. You perform miracles, saved my life. Never changed, never ceased to amaze. An awesome God, incredible. That's why I give you all of my praise. The impossible, the unmovable. Mountains must move out your way. Enemies are feeling no longer afraid. I knew you'd come and save the day. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Can't count the things you've done for me. So much to say, don't know. So much to say, don't know where to begin. So let's just say he did it again. God pulled me through, came to my rescue. He did it again. I couldn't do it, but he brought me through it. Over and over. Yeah. God did it again. Yeah. You saved me. Oh, God. You did it again. Yeah. And you forgave me. Thank you, Lord. You did it again. God, you healed me again. You did it again. And you rescued me again. God, you did it again and again. Yeah, so much to say, don't know where to begin. So let's just say you did it again. Oh yeah. Yeah, so much to say, don't know where to begin. So let's just say he did it again.
Gospel 88.7 WEHA. It's more than music. It's ministry.
WEHA, Port Republic, Atlantic City. And now on FM translator 100.3 W262CF, Atlantic City. Kelsey and Kim's is now open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Takeout only, 609-350-6890. Pickups only, delivery service coming soon. Address 201 Melrose Avenue, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Kelsey and Kim's is now open for takeout. The best Southern cuisine. WEHA is a listener-supported radio station. To make a donation, call 609-641-8870. Visit our headquarters at 3 Canal Drive, Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, 08234. Or log on to our website, wehavegospel.com.
We have gospel.
If you just tune in, you're listening to In the Community with Dr. Thelma Witherspoon right here on your favorite two-time Stellar Award-winning radio station, WEHA 88.7, 100.3 FM. We have gospel. We're excited. We have a wonderful program for you on this morning, and we want you to tell everybody to tune in to In the Community with Dr. Thelma and First Lady Parrish. We're excited. This broadcast is being brought to you by the Hawks family businesses who have been serving our community for over 30 years, and also Beacon Hall, turning moments into memories, and Kingdom Academy Daycare. We want to thank all of our sponsors for this month, for sponsored In the Community with Dr. Thelma and First Lady Parrish. All right, I'm excited. I got a few things before we come on live with our Zoom broadcast on today. All of the parks and the golf courses are open, and they open today at sunrise. And I was just so excited about that. I love parks. And so go out to a park today. Social distancing is still mandated. But I just wanted to make sure everything is the way that it needs to be, okay? Also, the unemployment. If you're trying to get into unemployment, the best way to do it you got to go online to get registered. But once you get registered and you can't get through, call. The numbers you can call is 732-761-2020, 856-795-6672, or 201-601-4100. All right? I want you to keep that in mind. Also, the official mail-in ballots for the special election for Atlantic City were mailed out, and we want to make sure that you are filling in your ballot and returning your ballot back in so your vote can be counted. And for those of you who do not know, the primary election that was scheduled in June, on June the 2nd, has been rescheduled to July 7th, 2020. So it won't be in June, it will be in July. Also, there's a lot of feeding going on today. And I have a few places to announce, so let me make this real quick. The New Hope Baptist Church will be having free chicken dinners, drive-by chicken dinners, and it can be baked or fried. You get 2 sides, a bottle of water, and desserts. That's from 2. That is from 2 until 6 o'clock p.m. today. 2 to 6 o'clock p.m. on today. Also, Victory First Presbyterian Church will be having bag lunches. They will be sponsoring bag lunches today, the first 150, and they're going to be doing that at the Atlantic City Renaissance Plaza. That will be from 12 p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. Also, Our Lady Star of the Sea, they're having groceries, giving away groceries at 10 a.m. today, and that's 15 North California Avenue in Atlantic City. The Embassy Church Ministries will be at the Golden Gate Community Center, 519 Northwest West Street in Violent, New Jersey, from 12:30 p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. They will be giving out lunches. Food, groceries on today. So if you're in the Violent area, all right, that's Cumberland County, you can be there. Now, there is a $25 Walmart or ShopRite giveaway, and this is being sponsored by the Living Word of Faith International Church. And what you have to do in order to qualify for the $25 Walmart or ShopRite card giveaway, you have to submit your name and contact information to the email qolifecenter@gmail.com. Now, this is that's what's going on around here. I have to send something in for my for those that are going to be coming in. You'll be coming in at 9 o'clock, or very soon you should be coming in to the Zoom meeting today. We're really excited about what we're trying to do here today, because there are a lot of essential workers out here, but one of the essential workers that we have not maybe really talked about is the spiritual leaders. And we're working on it. We're excited about what we got going on today. I'm excited because it's the first time we've done this. Well, no, because last week we were on Zoom. But this time we're doing Zoom with all of the pastors and church leaders. We're doing Zoom with them on today. So I'm really, really excited about it. Trying to make sure that this is working. Hopefully it's letting everyone to connect so we can. I'm at the station, of course. And yeah, I'm at the station, and Lady Parrish is at home doing the remote, and we're going to come in and we're going to be excited. But some of the the host will sign everybody in. Lady Parrish they're in. So she's going to be signing everybody in a couple of minutes, around 9:10. She'll be signing everyone into the Zoom meeting on today. And we have several pastors that will be participating today in our Zoom broadcast on today. And what we're going to be talking about is that the church has left the building, but the church is still open. The church is not closed. So it's not closed. All right, everybody. I'm going to be giving you um some of the people that's coming in. Try to do it again if you're out there in radio land. I mean, in Zoom meeting land, and you'll be able to get in. I really. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you know some of the people that we have coming on our meeting on today. Let's see here. Some of the people we have coming on the meeting on today is Pastor Raymond Hollis. He's coming in on today. We have Apostle Dolores Dixon, Pastor Johnson out of Wildwood, Pastor McKenzie, Dr. Bermudez, Pastor Ratner, Pastor Michael, Dr. Lyles Belton, and Bishop Luke Witherspoon II. And so they're coming in on our Zoom meeting today. So be a little patient with me. Okay, you will be connected. If you're not connected, you will be connected any second. It's the first time we've done it, and but I'm excited about it. I'm excited. Some people are in. You will be let in. Just be a little patient, and we'll all be in the meeting on today. I am trying to. I'm not as tech savvy as everybody else, but you know what? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good in this pandemic. I'm really excited about what we have going on at WEHA. I did give that correct QO Life Center at gmail.com. I thought I did give that out. QO Life Center at gmail.com is what I gave out for those who were going to sign up for the free $25 Walmart or ShopRite card. You had to send your contact information and to that particular email if you wanted to participate or be a part of that drawing. Now, I'm going to need, we're streaming, so I'm waiting for everything to come up, but we're excited. The church, the name of the show today is, the church has left the building, but the church is still open. That's what we're going to be talking about today on the radio on today. Now, I probably need some, that's what we're talking about today. And listen, we're talking about this because the church is the building. It is not the building, it's where we worship. We are the church. And the pastors are essential workers. They have still been out there doing, giving words of encouragement. They're comforting those who lost loved ones due to COVID-19 or any other type of situation. All right. Hold on. WEHA. Yeah, she'll be in. I'm on live. Yes. All right. So we're live here at WEHA 88.7, 100.3 FM. So I'll need somebody to help me out somewhere. I tell you what you can do. I'm going to have it set up where you can call me, and while we're working on the Zoom, you can call in at 609 641 8870. All right, call in at the radio station. Well, we want to keep it locked. Give me a minute and we'll be right back.
This is Kaleem Shabazz, 3rd Ward Councilperson in Atlantic City. The change of government is being decided now. Atlantic City voters have received your ballots in the mail. Please vote no and return your ballot in the mail as soon as possible. Dear Atlantic City voters, please know that the change of government is a scam, a hoax, and a trick. The scam is to take away your direct vote for mayor to give outside interests control. Please vote no. The hoax is that there is no real local support for this cooked up scheme. Please vote no. The trick is that only 6 municipalities out of the 565 in our state have this 1923 form of government. Please vote no. Protect our rights, protect our future. Join me in voting no on the change of government. Vote no. Fill out your ballot and mail it in as soon as possible. Thank you.
Ordered and paid for by friends of Kaleem Shabazz. I'm Jail Shabazz, Treasurer.
Hello, I'm George C.
Hi, I'm Professor J.
You know why I like listening to the gospel on the radio? It's easy. You turn it on, turn up the volume, and you have gospel.
Listening in the car is cool, I guess, but I'm more into listening from my computer. I just type in the website, and I have gospel.
So whether you listen to gospel on the radio, on 88.7 FM, WEHA,
or on your computer on www.wehavegospel.com,
we have gospel.
So check out our new website, wehavegospel.com.
Oh, hi. Right now, I'm getting a remarkably heartfelt bear hug from Smokey Bear. Thanks, big guy. Now, if you could let me down. See, I made sure there were no low-hanging branches when I set up my campfire. And before we left, I drowned out my campfire, stirred it, drowned it out again, then made sure it was cold. Visit SmokeyBear.com to learn tips to prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you
Ever get sick
can
on a
prevent
weekend with 2 days until the
wildfires.
next available doctor's appointment? Not fun. So having Atlantic Care urgent care centers nearby really helps.
With my outpatient procedure, I went home the same day, recovered fast, and was playing the next season.
Being surrounded by a whole team of experts, how could you not feel like everything is going to be okay?
They used the technology I hadn't heard of to treat a condition I didn't even know I had. Thankfully, I'm better now.
Last month, Atlantic Care saved my husband's life. They've been making our lives better for years.
For every member of your family, for every moment of your life, Atlantic Care is here. With all of the providers, treatments, and personalized care you could ever need at over 100 locations across southeastern New Jersey. It's accessible care. It's exceptional care. It's Atlantic Care. To schedule an appointment, visit atlanticare.org.
Juice, Mom. Juice, juice, juice. Mommy, why are we going to the store? Mom, I want juice. Mom, juice, juice, juice. Mommy, juice, juice, Mom. Juice, juice.
Your child will have different needs at different stages of life, and that includes the car seat. That's right, the car seat. A car seat isn't one size fits all. You have to have the right seat based on your child's age, weight, and height. See, car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. But there's a website that gives you all the information you need. Safercar.gov/the right seat. You'll find out about types of seats, when to have a seat rear-facing, when to switch it to forward-facing, when it's time for a booster seat, and when it's time for your child to ride in the back seat with a seatbelt. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway
Would you
Traffic
like to
Safety
hear your
Administration
company
and
or church announcements or church broadcast on the airwaves of WEHA? You can call our business office at 609-641-8870 for further details.
Tune into In the Community with Thelma Witherspoon, Saturdays 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Gospel 88.7 FM. Okay, you just tuned in, you listen to In the Community with Dr. Thelma. I am joining the meeting right now. Okay. Thank you, Jared. Thank you. All right, we're joining the meeting with the pastors. All right, hopefully everybody is in. I can see Dr. Nick, Pastor Ratner. Thank you. All right, Pastor Raymond Hollis, Lady Parrish. All right, we're coming in. We're coming in. All right, I have TC Bishop Luke Witherspoon.
Good morning, everyone. You can unmute now, and then we can talk and begin our session. We're waiting for one more guest.
Okay.
So can everybody hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes. Listen, do we have a problem?
We're here.
All
I'm
right.
here.
Thank
Good
you
morning,
so
brother.
much. Good morning,
Brother
everybody.
Steve. How you?
Good morning.
Bishop.
Okay, so I may be on double. Let me make sure that I'm not on here.
morning,
Bishop.
Good morning, Doctor.
Hey.
So how you doing?
Okay.
Oh.
Good to see you.
We're waiting for Dr. Witherspoon to join us.
I have joined you.
I'm in.
She's waiting on me.
Bishop Luke with us for a second. I'm in.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right. I
See
can
me?
hear myself twice. Okay. Bishop McKenzie. Oh. Hello?
Okay.
Yes. Join that meeting. Bishop McKenzie. Oh.
All right, I've joined the meeting on today.
Okay.
Already
Getting
see
there.
some of the pastors.
To the people that are watching us online, this is how you start out. You are a comedy of errors, and then in a week or two, you will be an expert. So I'm loving the beginning so that everybody can see that we don't all start out as experts.
If I get sick on a
So let me see if I'm on here twice, because I'm hearing myself twice.
Not fun. So having
You
Atlantic
are.
Care urgent care centers nearby really helps.
With my outpatient procedure, I went home the same
Okay.
day, recovered fast, and was playing the next season.
Being surrounded by a whole team of experts, how could you not feel like everything is going to be okay?
They used the
All right.
technology I hadn't heard of to treat a condition I didn't even know I had. Thankfully, I'm better now.
Last month, Atlantic Care saved my husband's life. They've been making our lives better for years.
For every member of your family, for every moment of your life, Atlantic Care is here with all of the providers, treatments, and personalized care you could ever need at over 100 locations across southeastern New Jersey.
Just
It's
give us a
accessible
minute.
care.
We're almost
It's
there.
exceptional care. It's Atlantic Care. To schedule an appointment, visit atlanticare.org.
Juice, Mom. Juice, juice, juice. Mommy, why are we going to the store?
All right.
Mom, I want juice. Mommy.
So we're going to ask, Jared is working remotely, and we want to thank him, and also a Lady Parish. We want to cancel all of our announcements. I see Pastor Willie Johnson, Bishop Luke Witherspoon II, Pastor Steve Ratner,
Hallelujah.
Rear facing, when to switch it to forward facing, when it's time for a booster seat,
Pastor Raymond Hollis, Dr. Nicole
Day that the Lord has made.
Lyles Belton.
Everybody ready to be outside?
Yeah, I was outside this morning.
Hey, Dr. Sanders.
Would you like to hear your
Dr.
Bermudez for church
I'm
broadcast
doing
on
well.
the airwaves of WHA?
Good to see you. Good to see you. How's the family?
All is well. How's Brother Mayor? My brother Mayor doing?
Strong. We're ready to go. Nowhere to go.
Tune in
Right, right.
with Thelma Witherspoon.
But he's doing good.
Okay.
The business is completely shut down, of course, but God is faithful.
That's true. Well, you know, he can sing that song, Great is Thy Faithfulness. That's my favorite
Absolutely.
song.
You know him. Everywhere he goes, that's his theme.
But we got
Great
to
is
get together.
thy faithfulness.
We got
Yes,
to
we
get
do.
together and do that one.
All right.
Absolutely.
My wife went to your conference, and my daughter, they were overjoyed.
With Real Talk Kim or Tasha Cobbs?
Real Talk Kim and Tasha Cobb. They
They
went to
were
both.
both, not because I was the host, but let me tell you, it was off the hook.
They told
Powerful. It was powerful.
All right.
Moving ahead, the focus is Jesus.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
So
Amen.
we're on Zoom.
You know, somebody was saying the new normal, but then I heard somebody else came up with the term the new abnormal.
Exactly. It's abnormal. It's not normal.
No. And see, Pastor T.C.
And
Michael
we
is
cannot
joining us.
repeat that because it's like giving into what they're calling new norm, which is totally abnormal.
That's true.
I'm standing on what the Word of God says.
Amen.
None of this should surprise us. I'm not even calling it a crisis. It's an opportunity.
All right. All
For
right.
the church to rise up. Let me be quiet, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Well,
You ready? You ready?
Ready.
Dr.
Ready.
So, Dr. Mike.
Good morning. How are you, Bishop?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you? Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. And our theme today,
I
is.
see Dr. Witherspoon Thelma, but I
Yes.
don't hear her.
Oh, you can't hear me.
Okay, here I am. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to introduce everybody so that Dr. Witherspoon can start asking you some questions of how you're doing. I'm First Lady Parish, or, you know, from working with her co-host for the past month or so. But I'm going to start up here with my left-hand corner, and that's Dr. Nicole Lyles Belton from the new Shiloh Baptist Church and the Community Life Center. They're like premier on this, and they're doing so many great things over there. Next is Pastor Ratner, and he's from the Praise Tabernacle in Egg Harbor Township. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Next is Pastor Raymond Hollis, and he's from the Friendship Family Worship Center in Egg Harbor City, New Jersey. Welcome, Pastor Hollis. Next is Pastor Willie Johnson from the Eureka Transformation Church in Wildwood, New Jersey. Welcome. Next is my friend, Dr. Sandri Serrano Bermudez, Apostle and Chief Executive Officer of the Hand Foundation. Welcome, Dr. Bermudez.
Blessings.
Next is Bishop Luke Witherspoon II, and he is from the Living Word Church of Faith International in Egg Harbor Township. Welcome.
Hello, Lady Parish.
Yes. Next is Chief Apostle Dolores Dixon, the Cathedral of Faith and Deliverance in Pleasantville. Am I correct, Doctor?
Praise the Lord. Church
Yes,
of Faith
nice
and
to see
Deliverance.
you.
Yes, God bless you.
Thank you. Next is Pastor Thomas C. Michael from the New Redeemed Deliverance Temple of Atlantic City, now operating in Napseekin. Welcome.
Welcome, First Lady.
Thank you. And in the middle is our host, Dr. Thelma Witherspoon
Hello.
of the
Hello.
Westminster Christian Center, and she's going to be hosting as soon as I finish my introductions. And we also have Jared L. Thomas. He's a producer, director, executive. I don't know all the things you are over there, but welcome, Jared. He's a part of us today. I'm trying to unmute you, and he's muted. Do I miss anybody? Have everybody?
We got Pastor
Okay, with this, I
McKenzie.
turn you over to Thelma Witherspoon.
All right. Can everybody
Got
hear?
it?
Yes.
You have to unmute yourself.
Oh boy. All right. We're here, and
she's unmuted.
I'm
unmuted, right?
Are you with us?
I am.
There you go.
All right.
Like she's talking already on online.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, she is.
We want to thank.
Jared, help out. Tell us what's going on. Bring her on.
I am online. I think they can hear me. Can y'all hear me? All right.
We can see her. Do you see her? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It says connecting to audio.
Okay. That's
She
why
should
I'm
be
home
on
today.
Oh,
so we
can you hear me
sure.
now?
I have the insecurity of having to do things, so I'm at home and she's in the studio.
Can you hear me
Well,
now?
let's start until she gets in.
Yeah,
We
go
thank
ahead.
you so much for joining us today. A lot of you we see on Facebook. You're doing a lot of great things. I think that's how to say. So we want to start with you, Dr. Nicole Lyles Belton. We see that you have something almost that's coming back out of the station.
All right.
To our Facebook listeners, please bear with us as we get this together. And when we come to you next week, we will be professionals. But everybody has their first time. And we wanted to bring you online because we can't bring you all in the station. But I see Dr. Nicole Lyles Belton at New Shiloh Baptist. You're really doing a lot, even with your young people, and you're really an inspiration to the community. So can you tell us some of the things that you are doing?
Definitely. First, I want to say thank you, Lady Paris. Thank you, Dr. Thelma. And thank you, Deacon Hawks and Lady Praise, for allowing us to be on the line this morning on Zoom. I bring you greetings from New Shiloh Baptist Church and Community Life Center, where our bishop is Bishop Dr. James Washington, and he's also my father. And I am so grateful and I'm honored to serve under him. As you mentioned, we do make sure that we are staying connected, our membership and our followers. Pretty much every day, we're very consistent as far as social media. We bring our services on Sundays. We are also on Tuesdays for Bible study. We're on Wednesday on Zoom for our youth, and we're on Friday nights for happy hour. We're also morning prayer on Friday morning at 7 o'clock a.m., and we have conference calls, emails, mass text messages. We just feel like we subscribe. We've come up with the 4 C's to make sure that we show care, concern, consistency, and connectivity. And I believe when we're doing that, and as we're doing that, we're able to serve our membership and serve our family and our friends, both near and far, all over the world, very consistently and in an authentic way, by the grace and the mercy of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Because as you know, technology is quite interesting, especially these days. So we run into some brick walls sometimes, but we keep on chopping. We don't give up, because we understand that for our membership, this is what they need, and this is what they really want. And they're not serving us, we're serving them.
Absolutely.
So we do our absolute best to make sure that we give our best. We do this every day.
All
right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to call everybody doctor, so I don't know why, but that's what I'm doing today. Pastor Radner?
Yes.
Yes. Now, how are you all doing at Praise? This is from Praise Tabernacle here in Egg Harbor Township. What are you doing and how are you doing it?
Well, we're using a lot of the same format that you're using this morning, Lady Parish. We're doing everything over Facebook, our Sunday morning services at 9 and 10:30. We're broadcasting directly from the church. We do a special children's message every Sunday between those two services around 10:10 to reach out to our little ones. We do our Wednesday night service from the church. And then on every weekday at 4:30, I post a devotional on Facebook on my page. Apostle Josh Kennedy's been posting a weekly devotional. We have prayer groups meeting by Zoom and just using the digital formats as best we can as we work back towards having a live congregation, which we believe in God won't be too far in the future, hopefully by towards the end of this month. And I was just looking at a thing through TBN News that there's a group called Reopen Church, established by Liberty Counsel, and they're encouraging churches to try to get back as soon as possible rather than give up our religious liberty. We want to be under the authority of government, but we don't want to just relinquish our God-given right to assemble and to worship together. So it's a delicate balance, and we're trying to move towards that reopening, hopefully sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, making great use of the digital formats that are available.
Well, thank you so very much. And Pastor Hollis, you're muted, so you can unmute you. But how are you all doing over there?
We're doing well. Thankfully, thank you for the invitation to be on such a platform with so many great people. This time isn't, it's a hard time, but it's a necessary time. And like you, we're using all the time. And like you, we also do something that's called Text in Church. And that is a platform that we use, that we send out text messages to all of the saints, all of our friends, people that have visited the church. There's a message that's sent out to them, an encouraging message, whether through text or email.
Yes.
Use that. We also use a conference call line that we use daily. We're about to launch our Youth Connect with all of our youth. And we're telling them to reach out to somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm only a pastor that I serve as a pastor, but I'm also a social service coordinator. I deal with a lot of communities, a lot of residents, and I see a lot of stuff with the youth as well. We're also connected with the food bank, in which we give out lunches to the children, worth of lunch each week to the youth, to our youth, and youth in several different communities, so that they can have food during the week, because some aren't getting out to get their lunch. So we provide that service to make sure that they're eating, and also with the adults as well. So, we're just trying to do our part, and longing for the day that we can get back together and have our fellowship. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And Pastor Johnson down in Wildwood.
Yes.
How are you all doing down there?
Grace, peace, and mercy to all of you. Just giving honor to God. Thank you, Lady Parrish and Dr. Witherspoon, for the invitation. And greetings to all the people of God and the gifts of God that are on here today. We are doing very well. I'm in the challenge of that I'm still bivocational, so considered essential personnel. So I'm working and recording and pastoring all at the same time. And we have been ready for streaming for a while. And so for me, I've become more busy because we're recording more often. I usually record from home and from church. And so the recordings that we're doing is able to reach all the platforms. And I think it has caused us to become more evangelistic.
Yeah.
Because now you can tell folk to invite people to church and they may not come, but they will listen.
Yes.
They are on a device And so I'm finding that the church is expanding because of the closure, because more people now are hearing the word of God that has been in the doors, now are being spread more across the airwaves, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And so for us, not only are we streaming content every day, it's that we're giving a chance for people to hear the voice of the pastor. I believe all of us on here that are gifts in the body are a voice that's essential. And so I feel that I needed to have the people hear my voice and hear the word of God. And so we're doing something every day. I usually, if I'm at work, I'll usually stream something live around 7 or 9. There's something always going on at 12 noon. Sometimes we'll have music therapy in midday or in the evening. So there's music going on. There's church content that we had streamed over the years that are being replayed. Now, there's some people that may have heard it before that had been in church, but what I'm finding out that the messages that all of you have and that I have, there's people who have not heard the word that God has put in your heart. So for me, it's being able to go back and release it in a teaching format. Because what this is doing for me is it's making me concentrate on the people being taught. If I go to Hosea, it says, there's a famine in the land, not a famine for the word, but it's a famine for hearers. So now the word now is being forced to be out because we're being forced to connect with the people on different platforms. So I'm encouraged. I'm focused on the transformation that is taking place. And like one of the other gifts had said earlier, this is an opportunity for me to spread out beyond Jersey, because some people are far reaching for me as New Zealand. A lot of you, if you have prayer at 10 and 12 o'clock at night, you are reaching people in New Zealand and in Africa, and they will reach back to you. So we're doing great. I'm glad for the opportunity that is before me, that the word of God is being stretched out further than ever before from this area.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, we see you throughout the day in your car, different places. Spread the gospel. Thank you. Dr. Bermudez.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to be here.
Good morning. Nice to see you too.
Good to see you. It's good to be home.
Oh, great.
It's good to be home. It's amazing what's going on. And I did mention earlier that this is a perfect opportunity. Many have called it a crisis. And I'll tell you what, it is a crisis. I've lost 32 pastor friends. 32 pastor friends. And there's a bigger challenge in all of this. I'm thinking of first ladies. I'm thinking of all the preachers' kids. But in the process, the process is inevitable. We've been able to minister to pastors' families that have taken a loss and a big hit. You're talking 32 churches left with no pastor. We're talking between New York and North Jersey. That right there, we say that we have a global ministry with a local view because we serve at a local level and we serve outside of the state of New Jersey. But I've had to intentionally stay laser focused. It's been very challenging, very challenging. However, I've learned so much during this process. What are we doing? First of all, ministering to 32 pastors pastors' wives that are trying to figure out what to do. And I could go into more details, but what I want you to know is that many definitely have died. The media has focused on all that are dying, but I have you to know more have survived.
Yes, just saw that today,
And
yes.
that's very important also to mention. But one of the greatest challenges to me has been ministering to these 32 families. Aside from that, assisting at the Javits Center, that's been very challenging too. However, the perfect opportunity to minister to so many, intentionally adding value to others, that's been the focus. giving of ourselves, totally surrendering and saying, here we are. How can we serve you? Titles are all wonderful, you know, that piece of paper is all wonderful. But guess what? When it's time to serve and help and expand and extend ourselves, none of that comes to play. Feeding the people. It's amazing. My husband and I mask everything we have to wear out there. We go out there into the neighborhoods. We're feeding the people. And literally, we knock on the door, leave the package. The other day, we decided we were just going to give out flowers. An expression of hope, an extension of hope. Every Wednesday, every Sunday, we're on Zoom. Our leadership school, we're doing it. We've been doing Zoom, and guess what? We've multiplied.
Great.
The opportunities and the doors that are opening are amazing. And I'll tell you what, to see all these leaders, some I know, others it's the first time that I see and meet you. The truth is, we are all in this together.
Together, yes.
Let's maximize with this opportunity. When I see, and I have to say it like it is, I have seen so many, as you well know, African American and Hispanics are the highest numbers. I have a valid concern, but I'll tell you what, I also know we are part of the solution. One of the pastors mentioned we need to be very focused, very clear about our liberties and our religious liberties. But I also, I agree with that, but I also know that we need to be very careful as we move forward. No fear. Faith has to be in place. No fear. I choose faith. But I also know that we need to be cautious because that disease is also real. God is greater. He's more powerful, but that disease is real. I'm not gonna, overextend myself here, but let's use caution intentionally. Let's communicate. Let's stay connected and focus on adding value to others, no matter what we're doing. Yes, we are, and let's be clear, we are essential.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bishop Witherspoon.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Great. Yourself? How's Bishop?
Bishop is great.
All right.
Thank you. So is Mother.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Glad to be on with you and Dr. Thelma and the whole WEHA family, Deacon Hawks, Lady Praise, and all of my colleagues, brothers and sisters that are here today. Certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to those who have lost loved ones. May the peace of God be with them. Those that have been inflicted or affected by this COVID-19, we pray that Yahweh Rapha will be with them and heal them and deliver them. We too are doing the same as all have previously spoken. The gospel shall be preached in all the world, then shall the end be. Matthew 24:14. And we understand that to be in part through social media. As the pastor says, most pastors have preached to more and taught to more people in the last 5 weeks, I know I have, than maybe all year.
Yeah.
But God is good. Out of something bad, something good has come out, and that we've had the opportunity to speak to people and to teach the word of God. It's very important to teach. The pastor also says something that we have been preaching and the sermons, and we're bringing out material, and some of it is material that we've preached before, but that's okay because Noah preached for 100 years the same message. It's going to rain. So what's happening is the Bible said we have to give earnest heed to the things that we've heard, lest any time we let them slip. And many times our congregants hear us from time to time, and it's just so used to hearing us until, they let it slip. But at a time like this, those messages and everything that was said, we all need the Holy Spirit to help us to bring it all back to our remembrance. And while we're also ministering to our congregants, which is very, very important, we also recognize the evangelistic opportunity for those who are unsaved, those who are backslidden, those whose seed was planted but uprooted. We are replanted, we're watering again. So we try to make sure that while we're ministering to our congregations, to also be evangelistic and to send an invitation for Christ. What better opportunity to be able to present the gospel then now. So we've also doing various things in terms of making sure that we are our financial literacy is strong. So every 2 weeks we have a call that deals with financial literacy. Sister Stacy Sweeney from our church runs that, and we're able to talk about principles in the Bible, so on and so forth. The other thing that our sisters have led, my wife, Lady Jackie, has led, who's the executive pastor of Living Word of Faith International. She has led with Deacon Rhea Gaines. They've also had Zoom classes on exercise with the ladies in the church to keep it balanced. We're working on that with the men as well. We also have had the various men's fellowship and women's fellowship. Men like sports, and a lot of women like it as well. So I was inspired to start Sports Talk, which is an acronym for Sons of God, positioning ourselves in righteousness, taking the lead as soldiers. And we started that last Wednesday, and it was phenomenal. And we want to open up to the body of Christ and reaching people in creative ways. We also have been doing drawings for gift cards, $25 gift cards to Walmart and ShopRite. Basically, all the people had to do was text us their name or email us their name at qolifecenter@gmail.com. It was as simple as entering their names. And we had drawings. We did that because we only had a select amount of cards to give out. But we already given out 15 already. Look to give out 15 tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And right now we have one name. So the first 4 names, when we get an additional 4 names, they're automatic winners. I want to put that out there right now.
Okay.
We're trying to put this into people's pocket. And even if they already have it, that's Q as in quality, olifecenter@gmail.com. Put your name in, and then we have more. We'll do additional drawings. We'll also look to have a food drive giveaway later on this month. We're working on that as well. But praise God to all of the pastors and brothers and sisters that are out there giving the word.
Yes.
And we getting an opportunity to be heard because there's so many gifts. And a lot of times we call it with all the big names that everybody's familiar with. But thank God for each and every one of you that have a word in this season.
Yes.
And to God be the glory. I'm glad to be a part.
Thank you. Chief Apostle Dixon.
Praise the Lord. God
Praise
bless
the Lord. We
Amen.
have about 7 more minutes, so we want to make sure we get Pastor Thomas on.
Yeah,
I mean, Pastor
we're going to ask him to give us some.
Too. So come on.
I'm going to ask him to give us some additional time.
We're happy to have you.
Honor to all of you and all in your respective places, Dr. Witherspoon, and to you, Lady Parrish, and to all this host, all of you men and women of God. I'm honored to be on your program today. Listen, what the Lord has been giving me is this, and it's found in Exodus 1:12, where it speaks about the oppression of the children of Israel. And it said, the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. Mm-hmm. And I heard the Lord say, keep it moving, because this thing that we're in now is like imprisonment right in our own homes. We're not we're restrained. We're not able to go and do the normal things in life, praise God. So now what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing even today, that there's productivity, amen, just like Gideon, under pressure, but yet being productive. Mm-hmm. And God is allowing us to reach back to things that we've had on the back burner, things we have not done, praise God. We were so busy with the hustle and bustle, going here and there, and had not time to do those things. But there is a new birthing now. Mm-hmm. Praise God. Those things, those songs, those poems, those books. And the Lord has had me in a mode of just warfare, but being productive, sort of like Nehemiah up on the wall. Praise God. Fighting with a weapon in one hand and a working tool in another hand. I just got control over a building, praise God. And we've been down in Atlantic City. The very first day I saw a Caucasian man eating out of the trash with a plate, picking trash. I said, are you hungry? So I went and got him some food. Then the man next door, the Lord said he's struggling with his family. He's worried, he was frantic, trying to do work. So we were in there doing repairs, trying to work, and gutting out the church. Praise God. Gave him some work to do and gave him some change. He said, I'll take whatever you got. Then I needed help with some work there. And the Lord said, I'm sending my workers. So he sent 4 young men, and they went to work and gutted out the whole church in 4 days. Praise God. So I paid them. Is still doing something for the community. One young man said, I took that money and started my music studio. Another young man said, I took that money and he got his own apartment. But God is allowing us to be productive. We have limited funds, but we are yet being productive, helping people. The man next door, she heard him say, I'm hungry. Praise God. The missionary went out and bought groceries and took them food. So we're doing something. We're small, but we're doing something. We're keeping it moving during this time. And I'm not that familiar with all of the medias, but the Lord has allowed me to know something about Facebook, to get on Sunday morning. Don't half step. Don't do just whatever because you're at home. Put the robe on and have church right here. Set up and just have church, just like we're in church. Praise God. Preach the word, because it's the preaching of the word and the gospel of this kingdom, he said, must be preached in all the world, and then will the income. We got to get the word out. Praise God. So now when I see good that's happening out of this, he says all things work together for good. So we see families are coming together, communicating by the phone. They're all coming together, tagging in. Everybody's coming together and everybody's being encouraged. So I thank you for this opportunity. I want the preachers to be encouraged on today. Continue to preach, teach, do whatever you need to be done. Don't worry about this coronavirus, because if God puts you on assignment, you're not going anywhere until you complete your assignment. So be blessed, because you're highly favored. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And Pastor Michael, do you hear us?
Good morning, Lady Parrish, to you and Dr. Witherspoon. We do thank you for this opportunity. I'm so grateful and so glad to see all of the ministers who are participating in this beautiful, beautiful Facebook broadcast. We represent, and the Lord has blessed us to lead the flock at the New Redeemed Pentecostal Temple, Church of God in Christ, which is now serving in Absecon, New Jersey. The way we have been reaching out to our parishioners and abroad is through phone conference line. We have our One More Day phone broadcast, which emanates every Sunday at 11:30 a.m., of which we do our Sunday morning services. We also are operating Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with noonday prayer, where we invite everyone who would like to join in by phone. And we have prayer. This week's prayer focus was young people and children, which we prayed for the children who were at home, which were being abused during these trying times. We prayed for teenagers and adolescents. While last week we prayed for pastors and elders and ministers. So each week there is a different focus. Also, we are doing with those broadcasts, we have what we call a buddy system. And that buddy system is geared toward the senior citizens who are weary of the whole phone conference line. So a younger person calls the seniors and taps them in through the three-way so that they'll be able to hear and to participate in services. Another avenue that I have taken personally is sometimes during the week, I will do a Facebook Live mini concert in which I'll sing the old hymns and the old songs.
We're enjoying it too.
And I believe the people of God are being blessed. The main purpose and the main goal that we have with our broadcast in and our Facebook Live are the souls that are being saved. We do minister to the total man. We also call the seniors at least once or twice a week to check on them to see how they're doing, to make sure they don't need anything. But thank God, through the phone line, souls are being saved, backsliders are being reclaimed, and there have been reports of bodies being healed. As you all know, if you look at Facebook and social media, the Church of God in Christ has been severely hit. We've lost many of our great leaders of our church, but the Lord is rising up another generation, and we're praying for all of those that have lost loved ones. But I would like to take this time to personally thank you for this invitation. And I pray that God continues to bless you and Dr. Witherspoon and expand you in Jesus' name. Again, thank you.
Thank you so very much. Now, we're still going to be live on Facebook. We may go off radio. I'm not really sure. Dr. Witherspoon is still at the station, but we want to thank everybody. She's doing phenomenal things with Westminster. Do we have time to hear you? Something from you, Dr. Thelma Witherspoon?
Yes, can you hear me? Yeah, I
You have
had
to
to.
unmute. There you go. Are you unmuted?
I'm unmuted. I don't know.
I don't know. Reverb. Turn off the reverb.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure what's going on at the station, but I can say for Dr. Thelma Witherspoon that she is having her Sunday service on Facebook Live at 2 p.m. She's also having Bible class on Wednesday evening. So you can look out for her. She's doing phenomenal things there. We see that she's growing because this pandemic has stretched most of us. Things that we've never done before, we're doing now. Learning new things. It's an opportunity to learn and to grow. And we can't let it just, we sit in the house and do nothing, because you can, through technology, you can do something. Even with the phone, you can call somebody. Mother's Day is coming up. Senior citizens are out there. They would love to get a basket of flowers, a phone call from you. We can always do something, because just like Jesus did, you use what you have and go out and do things. You may not do super great things, but what you can do that and do it great. I'm not sure, Dr. Witherspoon, are you there yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
I want to thank all of the
want to thank all of the pastors
who came on.
We're gonna endure the echo, and we're good. Go ahead, Dr. Witherspoon. Talk through the echo. We'll make it.
Who came on,
CJ,
and who are out there, doing God's work. We're doing Zoom for Sunday school, and for our youth. I don't really like this. Echo.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank
you're online.
everybody.
Can you help her?
She has to turn off the reverb.
Turn off the reverb, she said.
I don't know what the reverb is.
I don't know what the reverb is.
Oh, okay. We don't know.
Yeah.
But we're just glad. We're glad that we were able to get everybody from Atlantic County, Cape May County, Cumberland County, and all over just to be a part of this. To me, it's like groundbreaking. To me, it's history making. Maybe not your history, but my history. And we're going to continue to do great things. We're all in this together, and we have to work together. So we want to continue to work together. Dr. Witherspoon, did I get you back?
Yeah.
I just admitted her as a tribute. Are you there?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yes, I'm there.
Oh, there you are.
I'm there.
Okay.
But thank all of the pastors. And we want you to continue to do what God has called you to do. Everybody.
So we're just thankful for you, and hopefully we'll get you back individually to tell us more. But we wanted to make sure that we got all of the counties that we could get, the different people that are doing things, and even for you to meet. Maybe you've never met. We have at Shiloh Temple, I call them the pandemic team. We're about 10. We go different, making sure that we stay on the COVID-19 guidelines, and we do render a service on Facebook every Sunday at 11. And then from home on Wednesday night, and then Friday at 6 from the church with just 3 people. But we're still trying to do. I find more people online than sometimes are sitting in the Bible class. So that's a blessing. So we thank God even for the opportunity, and even with learning more about Zoom, getting better about it. And my great-grandson has been using Zoom for about 3 years with homeschool. But great Graham, who's now 72 myself, I feel great learning new things every day. Yes. And it just feels good. So I tell anybody, if I can do it at 72, at 50, 40, 30, you can do it too. So don't let anybody dim your shine. You shine for Jesus and keep it moving. We're so glad for all of you here today. Thank you. And Dr. Witherspoon, do we have you? Do we have any last words from you?
God bless everyone.
Can we all sing a hymn and all go out? When we all come on,
that Bishop T.C. Michael start us out.
Bishop T.C. Michael
start us out.
Bishop Michael, lead us out with the song.
First lady, I told you about that bishop.
All right, Pastor.
Oh, that's right. Pastor. See, I'm calling it.
All right,
I'm calling those things that are not as though they are.
When we all get to heaven,
come on, Pastor Hollis.
Rejoicing that will be. Come on,
Come on, Pastor.
When we all
come on, Pastor. Come on, Pastor.
We will sing and shout.
Come on, Dr. Bermudez. Come on, Pastor Johnson. Oh, yes. Come on.
Not yet.
God bless you.
God bless you all. God bless you all.
Signing off. Facebook viewers, we will answer your questions later because I can only do one thing at a time and I couldn't answer you. But if you have any questions, answer. Also, if anybody need any help at all with technology, I retired as a technology teacher. So if I don't know it when you call me, by the time you get up the next morning, I'm going to have your answer and I'm going to help you. So inbox me. Those people that are still leaving me videos, I'm blocking you. But those people that need help, need prayer or whatever, Lady Parish is here for you. But from Bishop Parish and I, the Westminster family team with Dr. Thelma Witherspoon, all of us here at Gospel 88.7 WEHA. Thank you for joining us and have a beautiful day. I'm going in my car.
God bless everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bless everybody.
Bless you.
Here now. Good seeing y'all.
God bless you.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Did everybody say their goodbyes? Okay.
Yeah.
Bless you. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. You were listening to our Zoom on today with our area pastors. Lady Parish was conducting that from her home when it was good to see everybody out there from Atlantic County, Cape May County, Cumberland County, doing the work of the Lord that are out there. So I personally want to thank everyone who joined in on our Zoom meeting. It was the first time we done something like this on WEHA with about 8 people who came in and shared from their heart what God was doing through them in during this pandemic. They're still working. So the church have left the house, which means the people are not in the building, but the church is still open. They're still open, and they're open because they're using social media, they're using conference call, they're using Zoom, they're using various outlets, calling the different ones and being an encouragement to all of them. So we ask everyone to continue to pray for our community, continue to pray for our country. The parks are open. Take advantage of it and continue to pray. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins and I will heal their land. We also want to continue to pray for those who have lost loved ones. And during this COVID-19, it is a very difficult time to lose someone and not be able to give them the proper burial or send-off celebration that you want to give them. But know that the works that they have done yet speak for them, and let us be sensitive to those who have lost loved ones. Let us continue to pray for families and do whatever we can to help continue with this. So we want to thank you. We want to thank Deacon Hawks and Lady Praise and Jared for allowing us to be able to do something like this. It was our first time, but I think it was a success. God bless you all. We hope that you enjoyed our program today. Did you enjoy our program today?
WEHA,
God bless.
Port Republic, Atlantic City, and now on FM Trans Translator 100.3 W262CF, Atlantic City.
This is Khalil Shabazz, president of the Atlantic City branch of the NAACP. Cordially inviting you to listen to our radio program, The NAACP Speaks, this Tuesday, May 5th at 4:30, where our special guest will be